To achieve its goal with the spaceship, SpaceX is not above trying crazy things. The Musk-controlled company wants the fastest turnaround time for its reusable rockets so that a single booster can handle multiple liftoffs in a day. This is why SpaceX is planning to implement the insane idea of catching the Super Heavy booster mid-air. How will such a daring landing work out? Is it safe? Is SpaceX biting more than it can chew? Join us as we explore SpaceX's insane plan to catch the Super Heavy booster mid-air. SpaceX has mastered the art of landing rockets both on the sea and on the land. It has a pair of autonomous drone ships named Just Read the Instructions and Of Course I Still Love You. Between them, they carried out almost 70 booster recoveries. They will soon be joined by a third recovery ship, also with its own wacky name, a short fall of gravitas. The Starship upper stage has demonstrated it can land on its leg. SpaceX is now going for the extraordinary, catching rockets before they even land. One of the earliest mentions of catching booster rockets was last year when Musk replied to a tweet on Twitter. A fan-made video had shown the Super Heavy descending gradually until it came to rest on the landing pad, which in itself was a feat and what you would expect of a rocket that could land itself. However, Musk promises a more dramatic landing for the Starship's lower stage. He said, "We're going to try to catch the Super Heavy booster with the launch tower arm, using the grid fins to take the load." With just a tweet, Musk changed the way we'd all thought of rockets landing. Why would SpaceX go for something much more complicated? Musk's follow-up tweet shed some light on his way of thinking. Another fan wondered if SpaceX was trying to avoid placing too much stress on the Super Heavy's legs, but Musk replied, "Legs are fine, but legs would certainly work, but best part is no part. Best step is no step." So SpaceX could design legs for the booster to land with, but would rather avoid them. Why would a legless booster be better? There are two main reasons. The number one reason is that SpaceX will save some weight on the rocket itself, as the legs that can support the colossal weight of the rocket will weigh quite a lot. Removing the legs will result in a reduction in the amount of fuel consumed. The second reason is cost. Apart from savings on the fuel, the cost of the legs would be eliminated. Musk is trying to cut costs in every way possible so that the cost of space travel could come down. Multiply the cost of the legs for a single booster by 100 and you will see where Musk is coming from. There is the main reason why SpaceX is towing the path of snatching boosters in the air, which ties to reusability. This daring method will allow SpaceX to immediately recycle the Super Heavy booster and fire it up with a new payload or Starship upper stage. Musk is targeting a turnaround time of less than an hour, which will put the operation of many airliners to shame. A rapid turnaround time is necessary if Musk's dream of the Starship making regular and frequent flights to Mars with both cargo and humans will materialize. Moving 1 million people to the Red Planet in batches of 100s in a reasonable time frame is no mean logistic feat. He will need lots of booster liftoffs. So how will this catching of boosters work out in real life? Again, we head back to Twitter, where Musk often shares what his companies are working on. The same handle that posted the video that started all the talk about catching boosters uploaded a new video. This time the booster comes to rest on a pair of arms extending from the orbital launch mount, which Musk refers to as the chopstick. He added that the inspiration for the catching mechanism came from the classic film Karate Kid. He was so impressed with this new video that he gushed it was very close to the real thing. Then he provided more context. The launch tower functions like a chopstick, holding the spacecraft upright before it launches and catching it as it descends from space. In the video, the arms wait until the booster aligns with its mount before deploying to stop the descent of the booster. They can be seen sliding down the tower until the booster is in the right place. The movement of the arms would require a great deal of precision in both timing and positioning to work as intended. Musk said they would be able to move during the booster's descent to match its exact position. He also said the catch point would be off to the side for practical reasons. The booster won't hit the launch mount if the catch fails. After the booster has come to rest on the extending arms with the grid fins, the same grid fins the booster will use to guide its descent, it will be transferred back to the launch mount to prepare for the next flight. Musk again says the turnaround time will be less than an hour. So this means there will be no sea landing or recovery for the Super Heavy rocket. Will this attempt work out in real life? We may not be far from finding out as SpaceX continues to prepare both the Booster 4 prototype and the Starship 20 prototype for the first orbital test flight. Coupling of all the booster sections has been completed and the space company rolled it out of the bay recently. which Musk posted photos about on Twitter. He was physically present during the rollout. In one night, SpaceX installed all the remaining Raptor engines that will power the Super Heavy booster. The 4 grid fins are also in place. Musk also tweeted progress on the Starship upper stage, where all the 6 Raptor engines have been installed. We finally confirm how the engines will be spaced under the spacecraft, 3 on the edge and the remaining 3 at the center. A stacking of both the Starship 20 and Super Heavy Booster 4 is imminent, going by how far the 2 stages have come. Musk also tweeted photos of Booster 4 being lifted into its mount with cranes and promised that Mechazilla, his nickname for the launch tower, would do the lifting in the future. Fans later tweeted photos of the booster set on its mounts, and it was looking good. It has been an interesting ride from 2 years ago when the Starship hopped 150 meters with a single Raptor engine. Just when will the orbital launch take place? That is an unknown at the moment, but SpaceX and the FAA may be having a showdown soon. With the rapid pace of work, the Starship will be ready before the approval for the test flight does. The next step in the FAA approval process is the publication of the draft environmental assessment for public comment. This step takes 30 days and has not even started. Yet there are other major steps to complete. We could be a couple of months away. However, SpaceX hopes to have the launch this year. It is committed to getting the Starship ready for NASA's mission to the Moon in 2024. Let's hear what you think of SpaceX's insane plan to catch the Super Heavy mid-air in the comment section.